This document is a protest flyer titled Rally Free the Chicago 9 Now, and with a call to rally at Friday, Old Capitol, 12 o'clock at the bottom. Written and distributed by an unknown author, this was created on February 20th, 1970, and on a typewriter with many typing errors. There were many write-in edits, meaning it was probably hastily done. The 9 men this flyer calls to free were protesters arrested at the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago, Illinois. At this convention, there was a peace rally that quickly turned into a riot when police intervention happened. The protesters at this rally were marching to have an end to the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War began in 1964 with American intervention in the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution. By this point in time, the Americans made very little gains against the North Vietnamese enemy, as the enemy seemed to have almost endless numbers and would disappear in and out of the jungle. The war became pretty unpopular with the American people at this point in time, as there were very little gains, and many American lives were dying, on top of a very unpopular draft. The next portion of this document steps away from the Chicago 9 and begins to criticize the laws of America in 1970. The first law attacked was the marijuana usage law. Considered the generation's drug, its use was viewed worse in the eyes of the law than public intoxication. The next law criticized were the abortion laws, which were illegal at the time. The author tries to form a sense of camaraderie here with readers by using an us versus them generation mentality. The next portion of the flyer steps even further away from Chicago 9 and begins to criticize our foreign policy at the time. The United States, during this period of time, was embroiled in a Cold War with the USSR, China, and the Warsaw Pact around the world. The United States and its allies instilled many dictators around the world to stem the flow of communism, which is a great irony to their democratic status and upbringing. One major dictator who kept in power was the Shah of Iran, who, even though he had police brutality, gave us oil, and Diem, the Catholic leader of South Vietnam, who he kept for the simple fact that he wasn't communist. The final portion of this flyer steps away from the Chicago 9 entirely and begins to garner support by making historical parallels between the protesters and the government. The first parallel is made by equating the cops, or bluecoats as the flyer puts it, to the British redcoats of the Revolutionary era, thus making the protesters similar to the revolutionaries fighting an oppressive government. The next parallel pits the protesters as the Jews, trapped in an American Babylon, meaning that they are caged by an oppressive government not allowed to be free. The final line might provide the true intention of the flyer, calling for a grander revolution in America, starting here at Iowa.